You guys want to hear another story? Well, okay. Hey folks, welcome back to Deer Corner. Welcome to the Campfire. A lot of people don't want to be on YouTube or be sitting around, but that's okay with me. They sure like to hear about campfire stories. And I'll bring another one up that happened. And this one here, it was an episode in an episode in an episode. It was a, well, let me tell you the story. You can make up your own mind. We were pheasant hunting. And of course we had our pickup trucks and our camper shells. That's where we slept. And we had a canvas tent. And inside the tents where we cooked and ate and everything. And we went pheasant hunting up in central Illinois, up in the cornfields. And we were set up in camp. Now we were up in Shelby County, Illinois, just north of Ramsey, Illinois. And we were set up, had camp set up. We were going to be there for the week. And we got up there, and we had a couple very nice Brittany Spaniels that the guy had. Very good dogs, very good bird dogs. Excellent, excellent. He was proud of them dogs, but they were very, very good dogs. And we were on our way up, and I think the town was called Metopolis. And we stopped in to eat on our way up, and just on the other side of the Ohio River, getting into Illinois. And then, of course, we let the dogs out, let them run, got them back in. And then we went on up to Sandoval. Got off the interstate there to get over on Highway 51. Then we stopped, of course, fueled up, got gas, got everything we needed, and let the dogs out and run. Got back in. We made it up to camp. We made camp. We got up there about 1:30 that afternoon. Maybe 2 o'clock. Got camp set up, got things set up. We were going to go hunting the next morning, start hunting. We were going to hunt Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then come back on Friday. Well, that night, after everything settled down, we're set up and people going to sleep, we heard a lot of howling and that. We did, you know, the coyotes, and got up. And what it was the dogs got sick. Now back then, this was 84 or 85, no, it was 84. And that was when they came out with a blue ice melt. That's what they called it. Instead of putting salt down, they came up with this chemical called blue ice. I believe it's changed because after they came out with that one winter, it was one winter they came out. Now this stuff, it would melt the ice, but it was toxic. And how toxic it was, and this is no lie, they were having bird kills. And somehow the state of Illinois got into this stuff, and birds were dying by the thousands when they would land down and peck around with this stuff. And Of course, the dogs, when we let them out, they were running around and they got it on their paws. And at night, when they were bedded down in their beds, they would be licking their paws. Evidently, it bothered them, but they had licked their paws. We noticed it, and we washed them off and did what we could. But it made them sick. And I mean diarrhea sick. One would get up and just squirt all over the inside of the tent. Now, I'm telling you, it's kind of a funny story, but a sick story depending on how you want to look at it. But they were squirting, and it got bad. And they got to shaking and squirting, and we got worried about them. And then you didn't have cell phones. You just hoped they made it till morning. So it was a mess. It was a mess inside that tent. And what happened is we back our pickup trucks into the doorways. So when you open the tailgate, we're inside the tent. And that smell was terrible. And it was late at night. And we ended up from like 11 o'clock that night to like 4 in the morning moving camp. Taking the tent, moving the whole camp about 50 feet and putting it back up. But the inside of the tent still had that odor. It was just bad. But the following morning, went up, talked to the farmer that owned the ground. We knew him very well. Called the vet. The vet said, give them milk. We gave them the dogs milk. Dogs lapped up the milk, settled down, and by noon, there was nothing wrong with them. So we ended up not hunting that day, but we went hunting on Wednesday because of the dogs. We were worried about the dogs. But that smell inside that tent stuck with us the whole hunting trip. And what we ended up doing was taking that tent, putting it up in a car wash, and washing it before we left, and then folded it up wet till we got back down home to put it back up to dry out. But if you could just imagine being in the middle of nowhere and them dogs just squirting. That's another hunting story, and you run into them things like that, and those are things that happen that you don't plan on. So things can happen. So when you're out hunting, go ahead and be safe. I know you can't think about all of it, but when you're out in the woods, be safe. And thanks for coming along. This is another hunting story that I'm glad you're with me. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you at another one.